So 2023 was a big year for you, and now you have your sentencing approaching. What can you tell us about it, and how are you feeling?
I go up and down. I'm going to be sentenced 8 days' time now. It will be some sort of custodial sentence. I've pled guilty to a number of sort of national security espionage. Well, not espionage, but although it's structured as if it is espionage, giving information relating to national security to people not entitled to it. And there will be some sort of custodial sentence. At best, it will be something like they call the intensive corrective order, which is a sort of a bit like home detention. You don't have to stay in your home all the time, but you do have some prison type restrictions on your liberty. You can't leave the state. And so that's probably what concerns me most over the next week is what the various different media teams, what sort of press coverage I'll get. It shouldn't worry me so much. Your truth is your truth, your conscience is your conscience, but the nature of human nature is such, we do care. And I guess it's not so much that I care about what people think, but I've always wanted change. I believe that there is a problem with the Defence Force and the government, and their relationship has become too sort of political. And if sort of my reputation is really trashed, it makes it harder to achieve that change.
How do you see yourself in all of this? Is the word whistleblower an accurate term?
I guess it is. It's kind of accurate. It's not something any whistleblower feels comfortable about. As a whistleblower, you have to pick up on, you have to have something concrete to go to the media. You have to say, our manual says X, but we did Y repeatedly. But it's not really about that. It's not really about the X and, the fact that we didn't follow the manual in a particular case. It is about that is a symptom of a bigger problem to say, we may have an organisation, and again, this comes down to a question of facts, but it's possible, if my theory was right, we have a government organisation that habitually and deliberately ignores the law in order to carry out political pantomimes. You can't prove the bigger picture unless you're able to say, well, you could make allegations, but people would say, where's the evidence? And the evidence is in the small details. So I do believe we have lost our way in the Defence Department. Getting major media coverage that will really put pressure on the government is hard, because media companies are increasingly aligned with the government. They rely on government for licenses. They rely on government for tax deductions.
Why was telling the truth so important that you risked your own freedom to do so?
It's a hard question. I'm often asked that. It's because most whistleblowers say the same thing. It's not really a choice. You've been taught that you have to tell the truth, and you've been taught that you have to follow the law, and you've assumed in good faith. Why would you think that that was wrong? But like if you're a doctor being trained to heal people or something, and then when you see your organisation doing the exact opposite of what they're meant to do, it shocks you. And then you end up when you point it out and say, hang on, our manuals say X, but we're doing Y, and you're told to shut up and mind your own business. You just can't do that. You can't, on the one hand, tell me that we're an organisation that does the right thing. You swear on Bibles, and people go to their deaths, and we have state funerals for them we can't, on the one hand, hold ourselves out as being this sort of paragon of a service to our country, and yet underneath it to be simply a slippery political organisation that does whatever is easiest each day. I always knew that I could have cost me my life being a soldier. I was happy to do that because I believed in the institution of Australia. I believed in democracy. I believed in the rule of law.
If you found yourself faced with that same decision all those years ago, would you do anything differently, knowing what you know now about what it would bring?
I often get asked that, and it's my favorite question because I don't wake up happy, and I do often get down about the little things. It's funny how the little things happen. I've got to get references for next week, and I'm tired because I got up early to go training. It has been a terrible cost, but uh, it was the fight I always wanted growing up as a kid. So it's the bit larger than life thing which I've always wanted. So I often have to laugh at myself to say, this is the sort of life you wanted to live. So you cannot complain. Now that you are living that life and you're getting a little bit scarred, a little bit burnt, don't complain. Be careful what you wish for. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way things are.